And
now recording.
Fantastic. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for attending this meeting or for watching this video if you're watching it after. We're just here to do a very quick training session, a refresher for our returning DJs and some really important information for our new DJs who are joining us this year. So what we're going to do today is some quick introductions of the exec board. We have some really exciting news about WXVU this year. So you guys are want to stay tuned to hear that. Some important DJ guidelines, some info about podcasting and the app we use, RadioFX, and then some information about how to promote your show. So let's go ahead and get started with introductions. If you guys don't know me, hi, I'm Allison. I am the general manager of WXVU. Returning to this role, I was also manager last year. And my show is Please Tune In on Fridays at 2:30. And if you ever need anything, that is my email right there. And that's how you can reach me. I don't think Jacob is with us today, so I'll do his intro for him real quick. That's Jacob in the photo on a donkey, I think. And he is our assistant music director. He's going to be working closely with Chris, who will introduce himself in a second. And does anyone know the name of his show off the top of their head? I'm blanking.
It's Hip Hop Haven.
Thank you, Hip Hop Haven. All right, and with that, I'll pass it off to you, Chris.
Hey guys, I'm Chris. I'm your music director this year, and my show is called Route 30 Rock on Thursdays.
Hi everyone, I'm Ryan. I'm the business director. It's my second year in that position, and my show is also Please Tune In with Allison, Fridays at 2:30, like she said.
I don't think Owen is with us either, but that's Owen. He is our Barricade Blog editor, and he is really excited to work with some new DJs, hopefully, on getting you guys to attend some concerts and write for Barricade. We're hoping to really revive that this year. And his show is The Ozone. I'm not sure what time, but keep an eye out for it.
Fridays at 5.
Fridays at 5. Thank you, Ryan. Very nice. Sarah, go ahead.
Okay, what's up, guys? I'm Sarah. I'm a sophomore. I'm the director of promotions and events, like all the giveaways, social media, that type of thing. Really looking forward to working with you guys. If you ever want to be plugged on the social media, let me know. I am the host of R&B Reviving Nova's Beats on Thursdays from 1 to 2:30. If you ever have any questions, you can always reach out, even if it's just about classes or getting used to Villanova, stuff like that. So yeah.
Awesome. And then Gabriella is our lovely news director. Her show is Boots and Daisy Dukes, some fun country music. Ryan, do you have the time on that?
I think it's Tuesdays.
Tuesdays at 7.
Tuesdays at 7. All right. Boots and Daisy Dukes. And then we've also got Pat Scanlon. He is our sports director and he's leading our sports team this year. Is his show
Racing Polls.
Racing Polls. Okay. And what time is that at too? So just so we can have all the
exact. It's Monday 8:30. I think it's Monday 8:30.
All right. Awesome. So keep an eye out for all those awesome shows. We're bringing you great content. And we've got Nick and Dina who are going to introduce themselves as well.
So hi everyone, my name is Nick. I have been with WXVU since 2019, and I just became I finished my graduate program. I just became a staff member, so I'm evidence that it's possible you may never leave WXVU after you join us, but I'm really excited to be a part. Thanks in part, we'll talk a little bit more about the WXVNU Health partnership. That's part of the reason why I'm still here. My show is the Lancaster Avenue Oasis, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Big fan of smooth jazz. So when you hear smooth jazz on WXVU, you can blame me. So thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dina Lay. I'm the staff and faculty advisor for WXVU. I've worked at Villanova almost 4 years now. I also advise the other media organizations, print, broadcast, etc., and tech crew. So my office is in Dockery 102. My email is dina.smith or dina.lay at villanova.edu. And yeah, I hope to hear from you soon.
Awesome. So that's your exec board for this year. We're so excited to meet all of you and get to know you all better. But now on to some super, super exciting news. So for the first time in WXVU history, I think we are full-time on the air. So we have the signal 89.1 now 24/7. as of August 24th of this year. So if you may not have known, but previously we shared the channel with Cabrini College, but we recently purchased their license, and now we're on the air all the time. So that means all of your shows, no matter what day they are on, are heard on the FM signal. And this is a huge thing for us, super exciting. So please do us a favor and mention this frequently on your shows, that we're on the air 24/7 now, and that you can hear us, around the clock. And we're gonna have a big fun party sometime in October to celebrate our 24/7 schedule. And with that too, that means that every show is gonna be recorded as well and uploaded as a podcast. So if you ever have friends who want to listen but can't listen at that particular time, tell them they can look us up on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And we are at WXVU on both of those, and they can find your show and listen to it. You can go back and listen to your shows again. So it's going to be really neat. We also, a lot of improvements this year. We also have a new website. It is WXVU.org. Go check it out. It looks fantastic. Nick poured a ton of work into this website and it looks amazing. We have our full show schedule on the website, and all your shows are listed there. And if you would like, you can send us a banner for your show and a picture of your hosts. That way we can put them all up on the website, and people who are scrolling around can, see your show logo and see who's hosting your show, and you can send any fun graphics you want. So we really want to keep the website updated and looking really good and really fun. So please send us over some content to put on the website. And we also are going to be doing a lot of sports play-by-play this year. I think Nick's going to talk about this for a little bit.
Yeah, so very exciting. We are doing the home play-by-play games for all men's football and basketball broadcasts. That is our crew that did the Friday home opener this past Friday, Villanova versus Lehigh. That's Pat Scanlon, our sports director, along with Dom and David. Two people that we recruited straight from Villanova's involvement fair. And so sports broadcasts are a really big deal during the Big East tournament, which we did broadcast the men's basketball Big East tournament last March. We had 44 different countries log on to our stream. Really cool stuff. Plans are also to try to do some of the women's basketball broadcasts as well. We have a growing sports team. If you're watching this and you might still be interested, we probably have room for you. So, reach out to one of us. But I think what we're doing with sports broadcasting is one of the biggest things we're doing. So that is also something to be advised about. If you do have a regular show on WXVU, there could potentially be a conflict. We'll try to, give you advance notice if there's a home football game or basketball game that conflicts with your show. But overall, really cool stuff. And I'll also comment, I alluded to it a little bit earlier. One of the big reasons, maybe the biggest reason why we have the full-time FM signal right now is our partnership with the College of Nursing. So we're doing something called WXVNU Health, which if you listen to the station at all, if you notice during your show, a lot of the PSAs, whether it be Thrive 365, doing COVID testing, that's all produced by senior nursing students who we do sort of a collaborative class with. These students who had never done radio in their lives end up producing these great PSAs and podcasts. And it's become such a thing that we have this whole program now, and that sort of has helped spearheaded this full-time signal. So it's really cool stuff. You can listen for the podcast, some of the PSAs, the podcasts that are on our feed. They've won awards, and more will be coming. And if you might be interested, we've had people express interest in doing like behind the scenes work for WXVU. This is something we could immediately, use your help with. But a really cool thing, that's one of the reasons why things are so exciting right now at WXVU. So.
Yes, I mentioned earlier that Owen, our Barricade Blog director, is looking for people to get involved and help out. So an exciting thing that we can offer our DJs is if there's a music show happening anywhere in the Delaware Valley or anywhere, around Villanova, in the Villanova area, we can most likely get you access to the show, get you some tickets. And in exchange, you will have to write a blog post for us and take a few pictures. But I think that's a small price to pay for having free concert tickets and a pretty cool experience. So if there's ever a show you're interested in seeing, you can send us an email, you can send us a message on GroupMe, say, hey, I'm interested in going to this show. Can you see if you can get us any tickets? And then you would just go write an article and it would be up on our website. We also have artists that reach out to us offering us tickets and seeing if someone from the station will be willing to go. So if we ever have opportunities like that, we'll also keep you guys posted and more frequently ask if anyone wants to attend a particular concert. Yes, and then just some important information for keeping yourselves posted on what's going on. That is the link to join our VU groups. If you're not a member of that, that's where you have access to the application, and that's where our email list is. So it's pretty critical that you join that so we can reach you if we need to, and you can reach us. And then another thing we have is the DJ's GroupMe. If you have any tech issues or just questions about the schedule or questions about anything in general, that's the best place to send a message and get a response quickly. So make sure you have joined that if you have not yet. And speaking of technical issues, if there is a problem with any of the equipment in the studio, please, 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 we implore you, do not try to fix it yourself. Send us a message, let us know, and we will fix it. And it's really important that if something goes wrong, you just tell us. You're not going to be in trouble and we're not going to yell at you, but we need to know. Otherwise, we can't solve the problem and it creates problems for other DJs and other shows. So please, 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 if you have a problem, let us know and don't try and fix it yourself. We will get it fixed as soon as possible.
And don't assume, somebody knows about it or, because there's a chance this has happened, recently, one of the microphones, if nobody reports it, we never find out. So don't assume. You're not bothering us if you let us know. It just helps us out. So.
Not at all. Yeah, please, please, please tell us. All right. And then we have a Instagram and a Twitter that you guys can also follow to stay posted with what we're doing. I think we also have a TikTok. I'm not sure what the handle for that is, but yeah, well, you do have a TikTok. Okay, I thought so. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Bridget will be posting. No, oh my God, Bridget, sorry, slip of the tongue. Sarah will be posting, yes, frequently on our Instagram, our Twitter. Make sure you follow those handles to stay posted and keep updated. In terms of training, if you're a new DJ, this is really important. So you will have to shadow with 2 different shows 3 times before you begin your own show. This is just so you get a really good handle of the equipment in the station and how to use it and what you're doing on air and what you can and can't say on air. And it isn't a painful process to get shadowed, I promise. All our DJs are really friendly and nice, so nothing to be scared of, but you'll just go get a lay of the land in the station and learn to use it. And now everyone at the end of watching this session, we ask that you take a really quick, easy quiz on the material we covered tonight, just to make sure that everyone's up to date on our policies and what they should be doing in the station, what they shouldn't be doing in the station. And if you're watching this and you haven't yet applied for a show this fall, you still can. The application is available on VU groups, but do it quickly because the schedule is filling up. All right, so now down to the basics of broadcasting here. Our on-air slogan, which we ask that you use during your shows, is "We are V89.1 The Roar." I'm sure you hear that in our automation all the time if you listen to the station. And our legal station ID is WXVU Villanova. So make sure you use those when you're, on air during your show. And please also emphasize that people can listen to us anywhere on their mobile devices through the RadioFX app. We'll talk a bit more about the RadioFX app in a minute, but our radius is only, I think, 8 miles or something like that. But with the app and with the web player on our website, actually anyone can listen to our station from anywhere. So that's great if you have family or friends that don't live near here but want to tune in. And then we have a list of DJ guidelines. We're going to email that out after this training and just take a look through those. If anything's unclear, email us to clarify anything you need clarified, but they're pretty straightforward. Okay, this is important. If you miss a show, or if you know you're going to miss a show. That is okay. It's not a problem. All you have to do is send an email either to myself or to Ryan, our business director, and let us know ahead of time. It's unacceptable for DJs to be missing shows continuously, especially if they're not telling us. So if something's going on, just reach out and we will discuss it. But if you have 3 unexcused absences, you are at risk of losing your on-air time for the remainder of the semester. So the most important thing is if you're going to miss a show, just let us know. Okay, and then in terms of your responsibilities when you are on the air, as we mentioned, our legal station ID is WXVU Villanova. Announcing that at the top of every hour is very important, especially now that we have a full-time signal. So just make sure you mention you're listening to WXVU Villanova. You're going to want to read white card announcements at 15 and 45 after the hour. You can find those on the station computer. It's right in front of you when you're sitting at mic 1, right next to the board, and also playing PSAs half an hour after the hour starts. Also, if you play music on your show, an important thing to do is complete a music log in Excel on the station computer. That means a list of the songs that you played and the artists that they are by, just for, I believe, royalties purposes, so we can keep track of that. And remember, if you're behind the board, you're responsible for anything that goes out on the air. So be responsible with it, please. We don't want to get in trouble with the FCC or anything like that. If you are not a station member, you are not permitted in the station without a DJ with you or without approval from the board. So if you are a DJ, please don't give your friends access to the station and just let them hang out in there, even though it is a really cool place to hang out. We need someone who knows how to use the equipment and knows how to use it responsibly in there at all times. Make sure that you monitor the station and keep it clean. So we don't want it to get dirty and we don't want anything to get stolen. We have a lot of valuable equipment in there. So just be respectful towards the equipment. And also the obscenity policy, we're going to touch on this in a minute, but you can't be using bad words on the air because that will potentially lead us to lose our license, which is a serious thing. So please just be very mindful of how you're speaking on the air and even what songs you're playing on the air. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to Nick and he is gonna talk about playing IDs and PSAs.
All right, good job, Allison. Thank you. This is a look, just a quick look at the software we have up on the station computer. We mentioned in the last slide, like playing a top of the hour ID, playing a PSA. We have a player now that should just be in the middle of the very large, oversized screen in our studio. Just tap one of these events just once, just click it with the mouse and it'll start playing. And obviously automation, I'll talk about that a little bit, should already be turned off when you do this, but that's just an easy way to play one of these events, PSAs, there's promos too, news and weather. But the most important thing is the legal ID. Just click it once and it'll start playing. That's all you have to do. Allison mentioned this. It is really important now that we're broadcasting full time to not, be mindful of the music you're playing, even if you're talking, you're keeping it clean, just be advised of the lyrics in the songs you're playing. We cannot play, obscenities, and also the verbiage that we use on the air. Since we are a non-commercial station, a college station is considered non-commercial, educational. We can't do any calls to action. So buy this record, go to this concert. You have to just be careful. So keep that in mind when you're doing your shows. Expressing opinions is totally fine, but telling somebody to do something in a certain way, because it's a nonprofit enterprise, that is frowned upon. And drug lyrics, I would hope that is self-explanatory. One thing that I think in general shows did a much better job of last year. So, we're very thankful of that. But just as a reminder, turn off automation when you're ready to begin your show. That's even more important this year because the uploading these shows as podcasts is still a manual process, in that we check to make sure in the log that the automation is off. And then if it is, we assume you did your show we'll upload it to our podcast platform. If you just turn down the computer on the board, which you could just turn down that channel and keep the automation playing, it still shows like the song titles are playing. So we might assume that you didn't do your show. So just when you're ready to begin your show, turn off automation, let the song that's playing finish. That just keeps it professional. If it's the top of the hour, which again, that means it's 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, make sure that legal ID, you could either play it or you could just say it. You could just say WXVU Villanova. That's an FCC regulation. Then just start, doing your show. That's all we ask. I won't get into this too deeply. You can check the link we send out, but this is sort of the clock we ask you to try to follow for your shows. You could deviate from it a little bit, but in terms of playing PSAs, the white card announcements, again, check out the link that we send out to read this over further. Board operation, this is something that we think has been improved. We looked at this over the summer a bit, but always make sure that the levels are properly set. In particular, set the computer to 20, and those PGM buttons on the board. Again, I won't get too detailed here, but those do need to, if there's ever a power outage or something, obviously message us in the group me, but those PGM buttons on the board have to be pushed for the particular channel, whether it's the mic or the computer. So be mindful of that. The most important thing is make sure the levels are set, and particularly, when you're about to leave, make sure the computer is at 20, otherwise there could be audio level issues. And before you leave, make sure automation is turned back on. Self-explanatory, but that's important. And obviously, as Allison mentioned, make sure the music log is filled out for royalties purposes. Food and drink, common sense. This is expensive equipment. A lot of money has gone into it. Just, avoid anything that seems silly. We also want to cover podcasts. So, not only is, all of our shows, live shows on WXVU kind of turning into podcasts, but if you want to just do a podcast, which several folks have come to us to express interest in, we can make that happen. Whether it's sports, whether it's talk. We have several successful examples. Student Anders last year came to us to do the Wildcat Formation podcast, which gets a lot of interest. The Villanova Admissions Department, we produced their podcast. We just, just like our station schedule, we do have to manage that schedule. We have a link so that if you'd like to book the podcast room, which is adjacent to our studio, you can do so. We'll send out that link. There are specific time slots. They're all an hour in length. If you feel like you'll need it for more than an hour, you could book 2 time slots. If you feel like this is going to be a recurring thing, contact Dina or I, and we'll talk to you further about that. But podcasts are a huge thing about WXVU right now. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, we really want shows to, use RadioFX as much as possible this semester. People have been using it to listen, but not so much engage. We've done a few contests with it, but we want you as hosts to use it to chat with listeners, to do polls. All of that's pretty easy to do in the platform. Existing shows should have accounts that we made last year, but it's totally understandable if you don't have the credentials. I think we made the show names, the passwords, whatever. We'll send out credentials for all the DJs that have show slots right now next Wednesday. So look for that in your Villanova email address. We really, really, really want you to use it, hopefully at least one time during your show this semester. We'd like to see everyone do some sort of chat or poll just for RadioFX engagement purposes. And it sort of goes hand in hand. Promote your show. Like, it's one thing to have a show, have a slot, which is, so awesome. And again, with the FM signal, more people are listening to us, full time than ever. But you can make this into whatever you'd like. We encourage shows to start your own social media accounts. Listener involvement. We also do have the ability to take phone calls in the studio. We have a studio line. We do have a document that instructs you how to use the phone board. So we'll make that available as well. We have the ability with our contest giveaways. We did the Jonas Brothers, we did Longwood Gardens, we've done Phillies tickets. If you might be interested in doing one of those giveaways on your show, let us know. And feel free as well. We'd encourage linking direct episodes, again, in the WXVU podcast feed, social media, send them to friends, family. That's a way for your show to really spread without having to have somebody listen, during the live time. They're all archived on demand. And some things to look forward to. We will be holding sessions. We did this last year as well. We'd like every show to have a liner that just says the name of the show, your name, what the show's about, and the time it's on, so we can play it in automation all week long. We'll be having at least one DJ get together. I think that's something we wanted to do, kind of make this more of a community. World College Radio Day might be the day, although it's the Friday before fall break, so we'll have to see. It's a big day for college radio across the world. And so we might want to commemorate the full-time signal then. We do fun Halloween music. We're scheming up a WXVU morning show. So a lot of cool things happening. And if you want to get involved, more than maybe just as a DJ, we want to talk to you. Contact one of us. We'd love it. So that's really all we have. There probably won't be any questions. So, but thank you for your time and attention. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks.
Good to see you, Johnny.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
I said good to see you.
Oh, good to see you too, Dina. Of course. And thank you all for putting this on. I do have a quick question, actually.
Go ahead.
I did not know about this writing for the blog. I'm very interested in doing like music review and music writing, especially for live shows. If I want to follow up more about that, who would I talk to?
That would be our Barricade editor. So that's Owen Hewitt. I can send you his email. I'll send it in a chat message to you. 1 second.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That would be awesome.
Yes.
Very good.